back to rest. I just loved it.
That's awesome.
Did you did you keep like a personal diary or anything?
No.
Take any photographs?
Yeah.
Do you have any?
No. I got a couple left that I had somewhere right away that I put them on the intro to History of Vietnam. But I had a whole bunch of 35mm slides, and I moved 21 times in 22 years. Jeez. And we moved into our place in Germany, or got ready to leave, I don't know which it was. And I said, Jesus, I had a stack of these, carousel things. I'm getting tired of carrying those around. I just throw them in the dumpster. Somebody's enjoying them probably, but not me.
We have to ask some of these. Or did you just pick? Oh, yeah, well, did you make any close friendships while you're in the service?
Did I
make any close friendships while you're in the service?
Yeah.
You like still?
And I've both officers and sergeants. The guy that was my sergeant major twice, Dick, he and I have stayed, well, it's been more than 20 years since I've been in the Army. We've stayed close all that time. I've probably got 10 to 15 folks that I have stayed very close with. Fellow officers and a couple of my sergeants.
Alrighty.
Have you attended like any reunions or anything?
Nope.
No.
I'm not a reunion person. Again, I'm not bright enough. I got too much going on in the present to dwell on the past.
How did your service and experiences affect your life, do you think?
Made me mature a hell of a lot quicker. And I got to see some things that I try to impart to my guys here over the years. Like a man's word is his bond. Manliness has nothing to do with drinking and sex. It has a whole lot with doing the thing that you know that's right even when nobody's watching. Being accountable. I probably didn't learn this lesson until later in life, but it was due to that. And hey, some of this stuff's really important. The rest is just details. Don't worry about that. There's nothing you can do about it. So those were, I don't know. I learned to be a leader.
Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't have survived doing what I was doing if I hadn't learned that. And I had lots of help along the way. I was never too shy to get one of my sergeants that I knew what he was doing and get him aside and say, what do you think about this? And by and large, when I did that, the guys I picked to ask questions of, I got good responses from them.
Yeah, that's good.
So from then on, as I got more senior, anytime I saw a lieutenant screwing something up, one or two things was happening. Either I had a lieutenant with an iron head, or I had a sergeant that was sitting on his hands and not doing his job by helping that young officer.
Joe Beeg, please come to the front office for your ride. I'm sorry, John Beeg, please come to the front office or the main hallway for your ride.
How many years were you like actually in the Army?
25.
25, and then did you become a teacher right?
Next day.
Next day.
I retired on a Friday. My wife had this job for me on Monday.
Wow.
That's awesome.
This is the God's honest truth. I was getting ready to retire. We were.
Yeah.
And she wanted to come back here. And I didn't care, but her family was from this area. So, okay. Why anybody would want to live in St. Louis is beyond me.
Are you from St. Louis?
No. I'm from a little bit of every place, but, 100-degree heat in the summer, 95% humidity, and
Yeah, nice to live in.
I wanted to go to New Mexico or Arizona, somewhere up in the high country where you still got 4 seasons, you know, sweat doesn't run down the crack of your ass in November. So where were we? What was I doing? Something.
Oh, it was, well, it was the question of,
he had the answer. Well, it was about how you retired.
Oh,
the next day.
yeah, so I'm sitting downstairs, fat, dumb, and happy one Sunday morning, a couple of months before I retired. She said, I found a perfect job for you. And I'm not looking for a job. No, I was going to donate my time, like to kids and, you know, old people's homes. And she said, this is a all-boys school, and they're looking for a director of ROTC, and the guy's got to be retired. So I said, yeah, okay. So I go back to the Sunday paper. She, in fact, on Monday, called down to old CBC, set up an appointment for me for this interview. She tells me she did that, and I just turn off the phone, you know. And the day of the interview, she reminds me that I've got to go. So I go down there and interview, and Mr. Curtis's dad was the principal at the time. He said, hey, you know, you're way overqualified for this job, and it's only for 1 year. And he and I have laughed about that a ton of times since, because 24 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
so wait, so CBC was your first job?
CBC was the second job I had in my life. The Army was 1, CBC was 2. I haven't been anywhere else but that.
That's awesome. That is nice. It is.
Well, actually, if you don't mind me asking, when were you born and where?
Where was I born? I was born in 1944 in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. And that has nothing to do with anything, you know, other than when it happened when I was born, because I've lived in Japan, Germany, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Korea, half a dozen other places.
Yeah.
My dad was a career officer too, so when I was a kid, I bumped around with them until I got to be your age, and then I went to what was known as a prep school.
Is there anything you'd like to add, or anything that we've missed asking you about?
No, I don't think so. I think you did a good job with the interview.
All right, sounds good.
Just make sure you reiterate in your own mind's eye. I don't care what anybody else does.
Oh, yeah.
But you two guys are, you know, whether you like it or not, you're going to be one of mine forevermore. At least in my heart you are.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you know that. I don't ever want any of the experiences that I had as far as combat goes to ever confront either of you or any guys that you know have been close to me. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible waste. Now, I can understand if the bad guys are coming across the Poplar Street Bridge. You're defending home and hearth. But what the hell are we doing chasing some friggin' goat herder out through Hindu Kush Mountain? Give me a break, will you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's somebody's idea of a bad joke, as far as I'm concerned. A very bad joke.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I think we're done.